Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining me today. My name is Adam H. Cole, your couples financial counselor, and today's video is about how to set goals with your significant other. And if you stay to the end, I'm going to take you through the 3 steps so that you and your partner can get on the same page, be setting goals, and then be able to work towards them to have your dream relationship and financial life. So, step 1 is to get settled, right? And what I mean here is to get settled in what your financial realities are and aren't. Doesn't mean you can't change them for the future, but you need to know where you're at now. So I've talked about this in other videos. This means looking at your income, your expenses, your assets, and your debts. And you can find those other videos if you want to hear a bit more details about that. So that's step 1, get settled. Okay, step 2 is get curious. This is where the partnership aspect comes in, where you're going to want to sit down with your partner undisturbed and just have an open conversation about this. And you may not be an expert at having these kind of dive in deep conversations. So I'm going to give you a really wonderful tool that's going to make it much easier. And that is called open-ended questions. Open-ended questions are questions where the answer is open. It doesn't have to take a particular form. If someone asks you, how old are you? That's not an open-ended question, right? Because you just say, I'm 32 years old. Or they ask you, what's your favorite color? Well, my favorite color is green. Okay, that's the end of it. Now, it doesn't mean those questions aren't useful. Sometimes, of course, they can be. But when it comes to goal setting, it's like, what are your thoughts on retirement? How do you feel about having kids or more kids? What's your interest level in going back to school or starting a business? Where do you think you might want to live, and what kind of factors go into it? Those are open-ended questions that invite the other person to reflect deeply and to share with you. And you'll hear things, if you're asking open-ended questions regularly, I promise you will hear things you did not expect to hear, and you will keep learning and understanding that other person better, whoever it is. But in this case, we're talking about your significant other. So step 2 is to get curious, right? And use open-ended questions. And the final step is get to the values. So we have step 1, get settled, right? And what your finances are and aren't. Step 2, get curious, ask open-ended questions about your goals and what they might be and your partner's goals. And step 3 is to get to the values. So what I mean is there's something underneath what we say. So if a person says, I'd really like to retire when I'm 50. Well, you can take that for what it is. They want to retire when they're 50, and if they have to wait longer, they might not be happy. Or you can look at what the values are. Well, what does that mean to you to retire at 50? And why would you want to do that? Well, I really want to travel the world and do volunteer work. Wonderful. That is different than retiring at 50, right? Because you can see there might be some opportunities to travel the world and do volunteer work even while you're not retired, right? Or maybe I'm just like really worried about my body breaking down because I have an intense career. Okay, so maybe we honor that by having you retire, or maybe you can transition to management. Look for paths to do that, right? If you can get to the values underneath, it's going to open up a whole lot more possibilities. When you just write down the specifics, I want to retire at 50, I want to live in Hawaii, I want to have $10 million, it starts to limit the pathways. It's like it has to be that or nothing. But if it's like, I want to be able to enjoy my life, I watched my parents struggle till their 70s. I want to have that freedom to explore this planet. I want to be able to read and breathe and create art. Whatever it is for you or your partner, that's going to help give you a lot more insight in how you each might have the lives you want individually and how you might collectively create the life you want together. So thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel. You can also give me a thumbs up. And I'm gonna post weekly videos every Wednesday on the topic of money and relationships. And if you're interested in working with me, I'll post a link below, excuse me, to schedule your own financial harmony consultation to see how I might support you and your partner in transforming your relationships with money and each other in whatever area of life you're working on right now, whatever stage of life you're in. And that link, I'll paste it below, is gonna be bit.ly/financial harmony consultation. So click that link, pick a time, it's complimentary, and we can chat and see where I can help you and your partner elevate your game to the next level. Thanks and have a wonderful day.